You are no longer a frantic chaser of coin. You are a channel of abundance, walking the path of ancient wisdom in the modern age, building a legacy that endures because it is rooted in eternal truths. Crown the Alchemist's Treasury, a sacred architecture of wealth. Old key. Epilogue. The zenith of the soul, contentment as the ultimate currency. The image, the mountain peak of true riches. You have journeyed from the cramped, frantic valley of the $5 vessel, ascended the treacherous slopes of leverage and strategy, and now stand at the mountain peak of true riches. Below you, the sunken city of covetousness glitters, but its vanity is exposed by the pure light of the summit. You realize that success is not merely climbing the mountain. It is the transformation of your internal climate so that the mountain itself becomes a pedestal for purpose. The true definition of wealth is found not in the size of the barns but in the peace of the heart. As the sage taught, one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Luke chapter 12 verse 15. A. The secret of abounding and being brought low. Philippians chapter 4 verses 11 to 13. The man who operates solely by the world's economy is perpetually vulnerable. His heart rises and falls with the market's tide. The sovereign steward possesses an unshakable stability. The internal forge. This stability is born from a learned discipline, an inner forge where self-reliance is exchanged for source reliance. The apostle's secret is the ultimate goal of all financial wisdom. I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. Contentment is the anchor. Contentment is not resignation, it is a fierce, unyielding trust. It is the absolute knowledge that your worth and your provision are secured by something greater than the volatility of the material realm. This is the power source that allows you to operate in the world with courage, for you are not negotiating from a position of need or fear, but from a posture of sufficiency. B. The unsearchable depth of wisdom. Romans chapter 11 verse 33. Step back from the ledgers and the daily toil. Contemplate the majesty of the source from which all true insight flows. Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are His judgments and how inscrutable His ways! The wellspring of creation, your power to get wealth, Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18, is simply a momentary channeling of this infinite, unsearchable wisdom. When you act with integrity and prudence, you are aligning your personal current with the vast, ceaseless river of divine creativity. The humility of the seeker. Do not lean on your own finite understanding. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. The world's wisdom is temporal and often foolish. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18. By humbling yourself and seeking guidance, by asking the source for wisdom when you lack it, James chapter 1 verse 5. You gain access to knowledge that your adversaries cannot withstand. Luke chapter 21 verse 15. This wisdom, given generously, is the true competitive advantage in the marketplace. C. The final command. Taking hold of true life. We conclude where the ancient poets focused their gaze, on the ultimate investment. The unrighteous wealth of the world is a test. If you have proven unfaithful in its stewardship, who will entrust you with the true riches? Luke chapter 16 verse 11. The true riches are the intangible assets, righteousness, sanctification, redemption, and life itself. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 30. Your vivid money method is thus sealed. It is not about the gold, it is about the glory it reflects. It is not about the accumulation, it is about the channel you become. It is not about the struggle, it is about the strategic wisdom that makes the work light. Walk into the world, then, not as a desperate chaser of the $5 vessel, but as the sovereign architect, whose house is built on the rock of wisdom, whose heart is anchored in contentment, and whose life is an undeniable testimony to the blessing that adds no sorrow. Your treasure is where your heart is. Keep your heart fixed on the eternal, and the temporal will serve your highest purpose. The end of the first book, The Sacred Architecture.